So once again, welcome to this presentation, throwing everything into the motion mixer. So it's going to be about the motion mixer, basic workflows, and some new additions in Houdini 22, like nested clips, and a bit about of Ragdoll setup and motion mixer setup, everything you have to do before you even go to that stage, get to that stage. And at the end, if I don't talk too much, it will cover a bit of Solaris and Copernicus. But to go to a little bit about me, I'm Sasa. I'm freelance 3D artist. I'm coffee and sandwich enthusiast, of course, and I love making silly animations, silly characters, because they make me happy. They make other people's happy. So yeah, it's kind of fun to do that. And regarding the silliness, are you ready for some silliness? Yeah. Because I'm going to press play anyway. So if it works, yeah, we'll see. Thank you. So yeah, regarding silly things, before I start, about how all this started, Fiona contacted me and said, would you like to do something with the motion mixer? I said, sure, I never touched it before, so why not? But wasn't motion mixer intended for when you have motion capture clips and everything is very advanced and animated and everything? But yeah, this will be puppets. This will be very simple. This will be a silly example, but hopefully you will get some little bits and pieces from it and maybe adapt it to your needs, to your workflows. So yeah, be prepared. Just be prepared for a very silly example of motion mixer usage. So disclaimer. So what's the plan? The plan was, the cunning plan, I would say, to use animatic that I did before in just SOPs in old KineFX and repos. I didn't even go to Apex or anything. And to figure out exactly what kind of clips I need. I would love to do just the basic sets of, attacks and dodges and whatnot, and see how low can I go with the animation without doing too much, without wasting too much time, and enhancing it afterwards with, as you'll see, with some noises, two kinds of noises. One noise for maybe keep alive when the character is standing still, and the other one, more a lively one, when he's in motion. Then combine all those clips in Motion Mixer to get some kind of choreography, if you can say that. On top of that, add Ragdolls, which makes everything very nice and very beautiful, and all the stuff that you didn't do in those previous steps, nobody will notice, because Ragdoll is amazing and you somehow get all the liveliness. And in the end, you just profit and have something nice and silly. So let's see what we have to do before even getting to the motion mixer steps. So basically, you start with your model. By the way, it's all modeled in Houdini. I don't know if I should recommend doing that, but I'm doing that, so I love it. And yeah, rig is super simple. It's all FK. It doesn't have any any advanced features because I didn't need them. I was mainly interested in like hand positions of those controls for the shield, for the weapons, because that is the only thing I cared about, where it should be positioned, and I was hoping Ragdoll would do the rest, and it did. So yeah, pretty basic setup. The only new thing I used from Houdini 22 was this auto component looked. I think it's a bit updated and much easier to use. So I use that for the stick, for the hand stick, or whatever it's called. This step is kind of funky but necessary. You have to prepare all the collision geometry for the ragdoll to work nicely. And depending on the shape of the model, I either used what's it called? I forget it. Either you fracture it or you shrink wrap it. Yeah, I remembered. So it takes some time, but I think it's better to spend a little bit more time here and just like have better and like collision shapes to make Ragdoll happy. And of course, this step is pretty nice, pretty needed. You just do some silly animations like of the limbs. So the configure joint limits can extract those keyframes, poses, and set up limits properly, because otherwise it's lots of manual work, and who wants to do manual work? So this is a lifesaver. And in the end, you just test, like I made this simple, like 7 keyframes animation, and when you apply ragdolls to it, yay, it works. All the like poses, especially on the pauldrons or shields and whatever, everything works. And basically, you just have weapon and a shield as a target for that drives everything else. Of course, it's a lot of fiddling with parameters, physical properties, stiffness, and all of that. But in the end, it works. It works amazing. And the last step for the motion mixer part, you have to do this. I'm not sure exactly why, but there are two things: root control and cycle controls. It has to do something with, I don't know, matching. Probably when you're in the motion mixer, you'll see when you match clips, position of your character between a couple of clips, it just takes those controls that you select and do its magic. So I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it works. So motion mixer workflow, as far as I understand it, so take everything I say with a bit, like with a grain of salt. Basic stuff, if you just drag the clip, it will loop. If you shift and drag, I think it's retiming. You can see it, there's a little icon at the bottom, like it speeds it up or slows it down, and you can reset it and whatever. And you just have fun and play around with it. You can offset individual clips, you can offset tracks. If you blend between them, like as you see here, it just blends the frames of the previous clip and the next clip, so you can do whatever you want. And it's pretty straightforward, pretty nice, pretty fast. You have like nice search bar filter. If you have a lot of clips, you can filter them by name, by whatever you wish. So yeah. And what I'm doing here? Yeah, so this is the next like track where I apply this noise motion. But the thing is, you have to apply it additively, so it just acts on top of that previous track that you have. And of course, you can do keyframes, setting weights on it, so depends if you want more or less. And basically that's the only thing you have to do. And the new thing about these nested clips, this is the only thing I could think of, like in my use case, to like see what it does, is to nest this motion, this noise motion, and whatever keyframes I have on a nested clips, if you have animation effect or if you have like weights or whatever, now if I just slide this clip, it would also offset the keyframes, of course. But if you go inside the nested clips, you still have the opportunity to move it around, left or right, find that perfect spot of noise, and all the other keyframes on the top level stay where they are. So it's very, very useful for that kind of work. I mean, probably you would do something more elaborate and, I don't know, useful than this, but this just showcases what it is about. And it's very cool. And after that, I just applied this Ragdoll thing to the whole shot. Note, I could have done that in the motion mixer directly because you have access to the animation, scene animate, but I just decided to do it afterwards because I knew I'll fiddle around with parameters, key them and everything, so I just wanted to have it separate and not do it in one, but you can do whatever you want. So, just to recap, I did everything like that for all the shots. So you go with a simple animation, you really can't go simpler than that. It's, you add some noise, now it's looking more lively. Add Ragdoll, yeah, it's even more like lively. And you get this guy, you trust him now. He looks, yeah, you would buy something of him, I don't know. He's legit. And yeah, that was the animation part. Now, the time was running out and I had to like do the other things like set design. And because all the budget went to the puppets, set design was like cardboard something, and I made this cardboard maker. It's awful tool, but it served me like what I had to do. And yeah, importing everything in Solaris, doing some basic lookdev. I was kind of happy with it. I mean, half of the time it's out of focus and not, but if it's not there, it's probably, yeah, somebody will notice like you didn't put effort in the backgrounds. And then, yeah, this is my insane way of bringing everything in because I'm really not that comfortable in Solaris. But basically, yeah, you have a scene structure, you just reference the characters, you reference the hair, the lights. Here are all the lights, I guess, for mainly all the shots. I did some tweaks from shot to shot, of course, but yeah, a couple of lights to make some kind of low-budget, children-made scene, puppets, I don't know what. And yeah, you will notice all these souls, like a crowd of people watching. And yeah, that's mainly it. I even used Copernicus for some basic compositing because I don't know how to compose it any better. So it's cool. I mean, a couple of nodes just to, I always like to make thing in render as close as possible to the final shot and just do some little tweaks here and there. And yeah, look at that face. Like yeah. And with that face, I would like to say thank you, that's it. And once again, special thanks to Fiona for making everything possible and to Graham for amazing work on the sound and the music. Special thanks, of course, to Warren, who helped me figure out what nested clips are all about. Thomas Goffelli, aka Waffleboy Tom, who always lends a hand when needed, and of course, all the amazing side effects team that make this wonderful product for us to use. Yeah, and super special thanks to Nicola, who saved this presentation like 10 minutes before I went on stage. So Nicola, huge thank you. I don't know what I would do without you. I would like have to stand here and, you know. So yeah, thank you once again, and hope I didn't bore you to death. So yeah, thank you.
Wait, you can't leave yet.
Oh.
Get back up there. Any questions? Okay, actually you can. I have a, oh, there is a question. Okay. Oh, there's two. I'm just blind.
Thank you, Sasha. I have like more of a wonder than a question, because I love your workflow and I love the whole like digitally puppeteering thing. I know that you're like animator in heart, and of course in professional, which we can see. But I'm curious because even though this digital puppetry and you have like Houdini as your main weapon, have you tried any of the like analog capture performance things, like using MIDI or something?
I didn't try. I would love to try, but I guess it's a bit too technical for me. I'm not the most technical person. I mean, I like to dig around and figure out stuff, but yeah, not that. But at some point, I would like to try something like, I don't know, maybe some what's it called when you have only the gloves and just puppeteer something. Yeah.
Leap or something like that.
Yeah, motion leaps, something like that. That would be amazing. That would be really fun to do, because it would save all those tricks I have to do to get just that, which you could do just like in live and in a couple of minutes.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you for the very fun presentation. And
I'm glad to hear that.
I've got a really silly question, actually. I was wondering, how do you get into like Solaris? Because I'm from the games industry and I don't really mess with like the whole rendering thing.
Sorry, I'll have to come closer.
Sorry, how do you get into Solaris? Sorry, you know, when you're rendering with all this like high quality rendering. So it's a really silly question, but I just never knew how to get into that.
I mean, you're wondering like, how do you import all this animation, all this stuff into the Solaris, or?
More, how do I get into Solaris in the first place? Because like,
I'm completely wrong person to answer that question, because I'm in the same spot as you are, believe it or not. Because every time I go there, it's like, what is this place? It's very new. It's very, and it's not Solaris. It's USD, really. Yeah, that and I love to see that little spark when I spend some time in it, like, oh, I'm starting to understand this, you know? And then it's gone. It turns out I don't understand it, so yeah. But just keep at it. It will, yeah. You see, if I could do this in like a month and a half, and yeah, it's doable. It's doable. Just stick with it. Somebody said there's no right or wrong in USD/Solaris. So basically, you can do whatever you want. If it works, fantastic.
This is true.
Yeah.
Are there any more questions? Did anyone catch the name of the asset that Sasha used to make the set? Oh, you did? Is it cardboard maker? What's the name?
Which asset?
Hold on.
What's going on?
I'm kind of confused. Sorry, loud voice here, musician. Kind of confused with an asset and no. Was it Wave It or something like that, or no?
What was the name of your cardboard asset?
I don't know.
Thank you.
But let's say it's the right answer.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
because you're the only one who put up the hand.
Exactly.
Then you get the flip. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you.